Last year at this very racetrack, one of the most unbelievable moments happened not only in Wawa Cup Series history, but the history of racing on the channel. Drew Webb, the dominant driver of the Culver's 400 in 2023, led almost all but one lap. That last lap, he did not lead because he blew a tire on the last lap of the race. And if that's anything for you here today, it's going to be a wild one, and nothing is set in stone here in Michigan until the winner crosses the start-finish line. And with how the championship battle is, who knows how it's going to play out. All we know, it's going to be a fun race here today in the Culver's 400 at the Michigan International Speedway, the 28th race of the season here in the 2024 Wawa Cup Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and apologies to Drew Webb for bringing up last year's race once again. I know he doesn't want to think about it, and the thing about this race last year, it completely turned the championship over on its head when Drew Webb wrecked out of the race essentially on the last lap. Only last year the championship wasn't as tight as it was going into this race. Ludovic Charette only 4 points behind Blaine Keys coming into this one here today, and only 3 races remain, including this one, until we crown a champion 2 weeks from now at Darlington. And Ludovic Charette starts on the pole while Blaine Keys starts 5th. They're going to be up front pretty much this entire race. At least we think they are going to be. Considering how it has been the past few weeks, they have easily been the 2 best drivers, but there's still a lot of other guys who have a shot at this title who are going to be racing hard and know that this is a huge opportunity for them to get a race victory. It's going to be a fun one here today. It's the Culver's 400 in Michigan, and I'm joined alongside Nathan Stablein for the call of today's event. And Nathan, this race is a wild one, and that was absolutely brought to us in full attention last year when Drew Webb blew a tire on the last lap. Nothing is set in stone until the checkered flag flies here in Michigan. But before all that, before we get to the checkered flag, we have some of the most insane racing that we're going to see all season long. These guys sliding up, moving in between lanes in the corners, getting huge runs off the exits. It is a wild place, and we saw 12 lead changes on Wednesday in the Sprint Series race in only a 20-lap race. How do you think this one's going to play out with these Cup guys, knowing what's on the line with only 3 races left to go in the championship, and this championship battle being as tight as it is coming into this one here in Michigan?
Oh yeah, it's going to be absolutely chaotic. Like you said, we had 12 lead changes in 20 laps for the Sprint Series earlier this week, and that was only 20 laps. We have 50 here today, and we will probably see something similar to that. The racing is absolutely crazy, and with how tight the points are, realistically, anyone out of the top 6 drivers could leave here as the point leader. And especially into Daytona, that is going to be very, very important. Well, you can't count 7th place in points, Kirsten Bell. If she has a good one here today, only 51 points behind. You can't count out if she gets a good one today and a good one next week at Daytona, but it's going to be absolutely wild. Michigan, hopefully we don't see what we saw last year again, but it's the Wawa Cup Series, and in 2024, you may never know what we get.
It's going to be a wild one regardless, and I feel like we're going to see a lot more passes for the race lead in this race than we did last year. Last year, Drew Webb essentially dominated this thing. He pulled out, and no one caught him. And no one could catch him. Braden Perez tried, and he did eventually win because of Drew Webb's failure. But this year, I think we're going to see the likes of Ludovic Charette, Trey Bartow, Kirsten Bell, Braden Perez, Blaine Keys all battle up front there. And hey, why not Travis Crampton or Justin Seidel? Nicholas Sambadio not starting too far behind. I think it's a lot closer up front in terms of the competition than it was when we were here last year. And we're going to have ourselves a great race because of it. Nathan mentioned the points right there, and this is how they line up in the point standings. Only 3 races remain: Michigan, Daytona, and Darlington. And honestly, you can almost, in a way, throw the ratings out the window. Almost, as I say, because we're going to see the chase drivers run up front in all of these races. But in terms of how well they run against each other, it almost doesn't matter because so much drafting, so much aerodynamics take place here in Michigan, and of course Daytona being the super speedway and Darlington being one of the longest races of the year. There might be a bit more of a wild card factor going in these last 3 races, but regardless of the fact, Blaine Keys got the win last week at Richmond, retook the points lead ahead of Ludovic Charette, but by only 4 points, and If Ladovic wins this race here today, she could take that points lead back going into Daytona. Jack Haas is 14 points behind. The downside for Jack in this race, he starts 27th. Of course, he's got a long ways to go, 50 laps to move his way to the front, but Jack Haas, a driver who has really not had any massive issue this chase, has been sitting pretty well in the points. He may fall behind if he does not work his way through the field in this one. Nicholas Sambidio, 25 points behind, still in contention. Same with Thomas Troxel, who starts 15th, and Matt Tuck, who starts 13th. They are 26 and 29 points behind, respectively. And realistically, I feel like the champion is going to be one of those 6 drivers. Kirsten Bell had a massive failure at Richmond. Not really a failure, but just getting caught up in the accident. They're really center back in the points. 51 points behind for her. Rogel Dorn, I don't know what happened with that race team. They started off the chase very strong, getting the win at Nashville. They're now 65 points behind, and Rogel Dorn starts 33rd in this race here today. Drew Webb is 93 behind. Braden Perez, the defending race winner of this Culver's 400, is 118 behind. Daniel Paulus Jr., 140 behind. Trey Bartow, the outside pole sitter, 146 behind. This is a racetrack where I think the ratings tend to favor a little bit differently in what some of the top teams do. And because of that, I think we're going to see some new players up front in this one. We may see a first-time win, or at least in terms of this season here in this race. It's going to be fascinating to see how it ends up shaking out, but regardless of the fact, we're excited for it. And we know how wild it can get here. We're not going to waste any more time getting to it. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here for the Culver's 400. And we've got ourselves Ladovic Charette and Trey Bartow starting on the pole position for this event here today. One of the best starting positions for Trey Bartow, but also the best starting position for Ladovic Charette all season. This is her first pole of the season. Compare that to Blaine Keys' 6 poles that he's gotten so far this year. That is huge for that team in Grattan Autosport in their fight to win this championship ahead of Blaine Keys. Got Travis Crampton, a great starting position for Travis there in third to the inside of Kirsten Bell. The Racing Motorsport teammates in row number 3. Blaine Keys, your championship leader, alongside Justin Zidell. A home race for Justin here. I know he would love to get this race win if it could work out in his favor. Braden Perez, Avery Alford in row 4. Philip Torres and Nicholas Sambidio round out the top 10 starting positions. And there's Rogel Dorn starting 33rd alongside Daniel Paulus Jr. Jack Haas in 28th, and then we've got ourselves Thomas Troxel in 15th there. Drew Webb in 17th, Matt Tuck in 13th, all in a line on that inside lane to start this race. All right, Nathan, you said you had an interesting pick for this one. Who's getting it done in this Culver's 400 in Michigan?
Well, we saw how crazy this race was last year. I don't think Drew Webb is going to get revenge, and I don't think a chase driver will win here today. I think it's going to be Brian Webb getting his first win of the 2024 season here today.
Wow, that's a bold pick. He's never won a Wawa Cup Series race before. But hey, you know what? He's going to Racing Motorsports next season. He could have a good shot at doing it here today in that 13 machine. All right, here we go. Ladovic Charette, Trey Bartow. They take the green flag, and we're underway with 3 races left to go in the Wawa Cup Series at Michigan. And that outside lane through turns 1 and 2, definitely the place to be. Or should I say the middle line? Travis Crampton got shuffled in the middle. He slipped back. It's Ladovic Charette leading lap number 1 here at the Michigan International Speedway. Trey Bartow in second, looking to take the race lead, and this is something that we saw a lot in the Sprint Series. Race leader gets a little out of line through 1 and 2, and the second place driver gets to the inside, and Trey Bartow looking to take the race lead here. Kirsten Bell right there in the top 3 pulled away. Blaine Keys, Avery Alford, Travis Crampton, a bit of a jam up back in here with some of these guys. Nicholas Sambidio in the middle of all this. Justin Zidell battling with Travis Crampton. And they're ripping that outside lane as Kirsten Bell finds a way to the outside of Trey Bartow, and now she's going to try to get around Ladovic Charette for the race lead here as we're now on lap number 3.
How about Kirsten Bell needs to go on here today? Only 51 points behind. If she can possibly win here today and go into Daytona with some momentum, it can maybe have a chance at this championship still. And we got side-by-side action between the 51 and the 93. As far as my pick with Bournemouth, that might be a little bit of an outside pick, but you know what? There's a good thing about me.
You're not running too bad right now.
There's a good thing about me doing pits here on the channel as of late, so maybe we will see a first time winner, but maybe we'll see Ladova Chouette get the win from the podium today.
Of course, she's going for her 4th win of the season. Blaine Keys going for his 6th win of the season, looking to tie Drew Webb's record from last season, and also looking to surpass Drew Webb for all-time Wawa Cup Series race wins. They're both at 7 going into this one. Blaine Keys, if he wins, will be at 8 and be the all-time winningest driver in the Wawa Cup Series specifically. And how about the job Blaine Keys has done? But how about Nicholas Samedeo in the 59? I feel like this is a good race for this team in terms of their race speed, their racecraft, and going there for the 4th position on Trey Barto, as here we go. Blaine Keys looking for 2nd on Kirsten Bell. And that's not exactly what Ladovic Chouette wanted, but the good thing for Ladovic coming into this race, she is only 4 points behind Blaine Keys. All she needs to do, win this race ahead of Blaine Keys. They're going dead even in the Daytona, and Daytona's all out. And you know what? It could be tight going in the Darlington between a lot of drivers, depending on how Daytona goes. They keep on mentioning what Racing Motorsports did last year in the Valvoline 400 with Christian Master and Eric Monaco, nearly leading every single lap in that race at Daytona. And they definitely want to have the advantage going into that race because they know they're going to have a good shot at winning that Valvoline 400. They have a good shot at winning this race. Blaine Keys to the inside, and he will clear Ladovic Chouette for the race lead here on lap number 6. Kirsten Bell, Nicholas Samedeo, all in a line right here. Kirsten's got a good car today. She could have a shot at possibly getting her 3rd win of the season as well. Samedeo going for his 2nd. Barta going for his 2nd. Sameto going for his 2nd. I know you'd love to see Travis get a good run here today. He's got a good shot as this race goes along. Meanwhile, some other guys in the chase who are struggling. Matt Tuck and Thomas Troxel. They're 5th and 6th in the standings coming into this one. And they are right now 21st and 22nd. They did not get going from their starting positions. Jack Haas in the 39 also struggling in this race. He's in the back of the field right here. Not at all where he wants to be. Only 14 behind. And currently he runs in the 33rd position. So if that ends up happening, where those 3 guys kind of fall out of line, this title could be between Ladovic Chouette, Nicholas Samedeo, and Blaine Keys. And Chouette's got to be careful not to take either her or Kirsten Bell out of this race, because that was close off the corner right there for 2nd as they were splitting Samedeo. Here comes LJ Sameto, non-chaser, moving his way inside the top 5 in that 71 machine.
Well, I said that Blind Red would win, but overall I think this might be a really good race for these non-chasers like Blind Webb, Light, Sameto, Crampton, Philip Torres, and maybe Radford as well. I think the way that the Michigan is, it is a very equal racetrack because of these guys slide up the racetrack. I mean, as many mistakes as they tend to do, especially during the sun this year instead of it being cloudy and having more grip like last year. But right now, that's not what the field wants to see, as is Blaine Keys trying to get rid of the 6 on the season, I believe. But he's going to go wide, so does Ladovic Chouette. That's going to help Bell and Samedeo to close back in. Barlow in 5th, Crampton in 6th. And Sameto rounds out the top 7.
Going to see if Matt Tuck is starting to move his way back through a little bit here. Same with Thomas Troxel, but they cannot catch themselves too far behind if they want to stay in this championship battle. And my goodness, just think about Watkins Glen and that qualifying run that Matt Tuck had. If that did not happen, he would essentially be the points leader in this race coming into this one. But it's just amazing. Just one bad qualifying run can take you out of championship contention. Brad Stover in the outside wall a little bit right there. He's had a couple of good runs as of late in that 88 machine. Here's the Culver's car moving his way through the field. Logan Williams splitting Braden Perez and Justin Zidell right there. He's going to enter the top, well, he's in the top 15 at least. Yeah, Drew Webb trying to move his way through the field. Of course, he wants revenge from losing this race last year, and here we go! Ladovic Chouette back to the inside of Blaine Keys for the race lead, and she's going to take it back away from the 41, and I know Stewart loves to see that. Because, hey, that 41 starts to pull out, may not have a shot at getting the race lead back again. But if Ladovic can reel Blaine Keys back into that race lead, then they know they have a car to beat the 41 here today. We'll see how it goes here in the turns 1 and 2. Nicholas Samedeo looking to split 3 wide. Ladovic's got a good shot through the middle right there, and they're still side by side for the race lead here on lap 11. About a halfway run, fuel run here About 26, 27 laps here today at the Michigan International Speedway. And this race, even though they're sliding around doing all that they're doing here today, has a little bit of a green flag feel to it. But then again, Kirsten Bell coming close to Blaine Keys right there. Man, if Blaine got taken out there, that would have been huge. And these guys have to be careful racing for the race lead, not to wreck each other out, because that would be massive. These are the top 2 drivers in the championship right now, Ludovic Stret and Blaine Keys. And if they took each other out, oh my goodness, that'd be the biggest moment of the season. No doubt about it. How about Travis Crampton, L.A. Samedo, Sam Medeo got stuck on the inside, and he's slipping back right there. Drew Webb on the outside, Avery Alford as well. A good day for the Hairjo Motorsport cars of Trey Bartow and Avery Alford, both in the top 10. Here comes Blaine Keys back to the inside for the race lead. Kirsten Bell want to make it 3 wide, not enough, as Charette holds on here on lap 12.
These guys can easily slip and slide, and there's easily 3 different lanes that are really good. But if you go to the 5th lane, on the swing outside, that's not going to look out. And if you go on the bottom, the first lane, like what same deal is, that's not going to look out either. So there's a fine line of 3 lanes right in the middle, and Blaine Keys used it to perfection back out front. And this racetrack is, I think not only the competition is a lot better, but I think with the sun being out, that has made these guys have to slip and slide a little bit, and seeing fantastic racing early on. And how about this guy trying to get some Michigan revenge?
This guy, of course, his teammate LJ Cemento also in the top 10. The Titan Fury cars are really fast here today. Ludovic Stret's going to have a shot back to the inside of Blaine Keys. This is what we saw in the sprint race on Wednesday, and you were in the booth with me for that race, Nathan. And it seems to be a disadvantage to be the leader here in Michigan. They wash up in turns 1 and 2 if they're out front for some reason. And Blaine Keys going to lose the race lead because of it. Kirsten Bell's going to split it, and we're 3 wide for the race lead here in Michigan. And Kirsten Bell looking to take it away. Oh my goodness, this is some good stuff here in Michigan. And this is what we didn't have last year because this guy spoiled the party. That's why he blew the tire. Didn't give us a good race. Well, guess what? Drew Webb now in the middle of all this trying to get this race lead. He really doesn't have a mathematical chance at the championship at this point, but I tell you what, he'd love to get this win here today and keep Blaine Keys from being the all-time winningest driver in the Wawa Cup Series. And now it's Kirsten Bell out front and Drew Webb in the 99 looking to the inside. Will he have enough to get to Bell? Not quite. And the 93 is going to clear out ahead and take the race lead on lap 15.
We saw a couple of those moves that Bell did during the Sprint Series race, of that really aggressive 3 wide through the middle move, and we always seen it a couple times. And now Blaine Keys going back up to the race lead, and I agree. I think the reason why that we didn't see this last year was because of Drew Webb up to the 3rd position. Fantastic stuff, and we only sit lap 16 and 50. But if one of these guys ended up having a long one car, then they could spoil the party. How about the Culver's car? I think Logan Williams started 28th or something like that. Now he's inside the top 5.
And Blaine was unable to get to the inside of Kirsten Bell, and now he's stuck on the inside, and Drew Webb looking to take second back away from the 41. Ludovic still in the middle of all this as well. Here comes Troxel. Troxel's slowly creeping his way closer to that top 10. Matt Tuck trying to hang on. Not a good start for him in this race. Of course, got the win at the Brickyard, and I really thought after winning that race in Indianapolis he'd have a good car here, but really wasn't able to move his way through the field. He started 17th in Indianapolis as well, so he moved up through the field at Indy to get that win. Not quite doing so right now, and you really want to be in this lead pack if you are coming down the pit lane for that cycle, because you know, if you're a little ways behind once that cycle hits, you might not have enough time to really close back in. These top guys who are running up front right now, they're going to have the advantage once that cycle begins. And it's going to be fascinating to see who ends up getting the race lead after all is said and done right there. How about Logan Williams? You know, this is the kind of race Logan Williams would win. Logan Williams, you don't see him most of the season, but when you do see him, he is one of the best drivers out there on the racetrack. He's going for what would be his fourth career win in the Wawa Cup Series. Got the win at Gateway earlier this season, but missed the chase again. He's 16th in the points. He's kind of going for that best of the rest. And you know what? He's driving the Culver's car in the Culver's 400. And I know we're not in Wisconsin. I know that Road America should be the Culver's race. That has always been the Storm Bowling 400K. But we got to have Culver sponsor some race, and they do have Culver's locations in Michigan. So here we are, and Michigan with the Culver's 400. And another thing that I'd like to mention is the other Appalachian Motorsports sponsored race was the Brant 400. Nicholas Samedeo won that one. It'd be kind of fitting for the Culver's car to win the Culver's 400 as well. But they're starting the single file out, and now looky here. How about Laura Chung inside the top 5 there for Dracoan Racing Enterprises? Where did she come from? All of a sudden, she's there in 5th, looking for her first career win in the Wawa Cup Series.
So I mentioned that some of these non-chasers would have good ones today, and, well, say hello to Lortron and Logan Williams. You know, I almost pit Logan Williams in the number 28, my teammate in the Tokyo Twat series coming up in, I believe, next week. But I was like, he's still 28. Well, he made me regret not picking him because up to 5th already, and we're only lap 20 or 50, but things are starting to single file out a little bit. Tires starting to wear off a little bit now. Before these guys think about it, we are only 7 laps away potentially from pit stops here.
And these pit crews absolutely have to be thinking no mistakes. You cannot make a mistake here and essentially lose the lead draft. That's the way this race is playing out here. And if you lose that lead draft, you're going to fall behind and really not have a good run in this one. Drew Webb trying to find an advantage on Kirsten Bell right here. I'm impressed with Drew Webb here. He has not had a good chase at all, but you know he's got a chip on his shoulder from last year in this race, and I tell you what, he would be ecstatic if he can win this thing, and he'd be ecstatic if he can take the race lead, and guess what? He's got the nose to the inside of Kirsten Bell. Not enough grip now. The tires are starting to wear out where that inside lane doesn't quite have it. And keep in mind, this is right around the time that we're going to get to the end of the race in terms of that tire wear as well. So something for these guys to be thinking about. If you want to make a move at the end of the race to win the race and you're in this position, you want to be able to make it. And Drew Webb was not able to make it on Kirsten Bell right there. And this 93 holding on to a pretty good lead. And these guys kind of in their respective positions now. They've kind of found themselves kind of stuck in their respective positions, but I feel like all these guys still have a shot at this one. They're all right on each other. Drew Webb's going to try again if Kirsten really overshoots it, which she does. There we go. He's back out front in Michigan. Hold on to your hats here. Drew Webb leads the Culver's 400, and the last time he led the Culver's 400, it didn't end too well for him. Well, we're going to have to see how this one shakes out. This 99 looking really fast here today in Michigan.
I think that number 99 of Drew Webb might have a long one called. We didn't really see him take the race lead until lap 23. Up the 1, it's about 27 laps on the 1. It's going to be interesting if he can maintain out front, and it's going to come down to these pit crews here today. Because this has a green flag feel to it, a lot like last year, and it very well could go caution-free to the end, especially after pit stops. So pit crews better get the money's worth here today at Michigan, especially if you want to be inside the top 7.
Here we go again. Kirsten Bell back to the inside, looking at the crossover. And we're about to enter the window for the cycle of pit stops as well, so anytime past halfway, you are good to go and make your stop, and we'll have to see what strategy works out better. Jack Haas has rebounded a little bit, up to 21st now. He was 33rd not too long ago, and just about to crack the top 20, but will it be too little too late for the number 39 team? As for the race lead, Kirsten Bell's got it. Logan Williams on Ludovic Charette. They're double wide throughout the top 4 positions, and Laura Chung is like, all right, where do I go to win this race? Because you know what? Laura Chung could very well pull one out of her hat here today if she can find herself in the right position. But Kirsten Bell trying to put herself in the right position right now. But Drew Webb's got help from his future teammate on that outside lane of Ludovic Charette. And Ludovic doesn't know where she's going to go. She's going to split. She's going to try to split, isn't she? Going in the corner. And don't look now. Blaine Keys going 3 wide behind them. On the outside of Laura Chung and Logan Williams. Kirsten's going to clear. Ludovic's going to go for second. And Sam Idio trying to close in on Keys as Williams and Chung had a good run on Keys on that inside lane. And they're going to be coming out here any lap now. And they're all right on each other for this top position here in Michigan. And I think a couple guys are coming down. Ludovic Charette in the 51. Nah, they just had a really bad entry into the corner. And they were stuck in that inside lane. Sam Idio going to get 2 of them right there with Keys and Williams. And Charette falling back. Laura Chung up to 3rd now in the 55 machine.
The top 7 have really pulled away to about 1 second of each other, and then 8th is about 2 seconds behind. So I think, depending on how pit stops cycle out, is really going to come down to these top 7, and I might have to keep an eye out for a little Chunya in this one, as up to the top 5 may. This might be one of those races where that team could steal it.
No one coming down quite yet. See if anyone comes down. Braden Perez, the winner of this race a year ago, will be the first driver down the pit lane here at Michigan. He was right around the 15th position right there, I'd say. So we'll see how he ends up shaking out. I think this is one of those races you want to come down later. If it has a green flag feel to it, you absolutely want to be coming down a little bit later. And you want to have those fresher tires near the end of the race. You're going to be able to make the moves a lot better. So we'll see who does, in fact, stretch it. Matt Black coming down in the 31. And Drew Webb trying to take this race lead, but I think a lot of these guys are going to come down right here. Lap 28 of 50, and they're not going to stay off each other. Anyone staying out right here? Nobody. None of the race leaders staying out. Troxel. And Troxel, he really has no other choice but to stay out right here in that 62 machine. I think with where he was, the only way he's really going to gain anything is if he has fresher tires later on in the run. Same goes for Jack Cox, so they're really going to try to work something to their advantage here. And let's see here, Kirsten Bell in the 93, the race leader when they came down the pit lane. I apologize, we got some bad camera angles here in Michigan for the pit lane. The rest of the track is great. The pit lane, all those pit boxes block the TV1 view, and it's a little annoying. But hey, we can tell what's going on here. 93 machine obviously taking 4 tires. Ladovic's got the first pit stall, though, because she had the pole win. And they're going to roughly remain in the same position. Not a good stop for Keys. Blaine Keys a little bit slower than I think he would have wanted right there. He fell off quite a bit right there. How about Daniel Paulus Jr. in the 24 getting ahead of him? And Braden Perez also getting ahead of him. That's not good for Blaine Keys or Ladovic Shred. Both of them falling back. And you know what? The way this race is going, I don't think either our top 2 are going to go to victory lane here today. Kirsten Bell, clear out ahead of those drivers who came down. And the only driver she has to worry about, Thomas Troxel, and the rest who stayed out. Troxel's the only one who has a reasonable chance at getting to the 93 here once it cycles through. Laura Chung, great stop for that team. Logan Williams here in the 95, looking to take 3rd away from the 55 machine, or what will provisionally be 3rd, at least we assume. And I think that will be the case. Troxel going to be a little too far behind in this one. Braden Perez in the 23 really going wide right there to avoid these guys coming off the pit lane. And now they're spread out quite a bit, but not a good run off the pit lane for Blaine Keys. He's going to fall outside the top 10.
Not a great pit stop from Blaine Keys right there. That's going to hurt him, but you know who got a good pit stop? Logan Williamson at number 95. Bryce Egan, I believe I saw up front. Same with Daniel Paulus Jr. Half for Hubert, Travis Crampton, those 2 are battling for the Best of the West championship. And how about this?
How about Duncan Ward? He did this in the sprint race, going 4 wide on the front stretch. And Duncan Ward in the 11 machine for Grattan Auto Sport in this race. Got the win on Wednesday in the sprint series. They got to be careful here. Oh boy, at least the cycle of pit stops has completed. And we would not send anyone on the tail end or anything like that. And here we go. I think this win is going to go between Kirsten Bell and Drew Webb here at Michigan. They've got a considerable gap between Williams, Chung, and Braden Perez right here. Sam Adio in 6th, a great run for him. Ladovic in 7th. And Blaine Keys outside the top 10, running 12th right now. He still has a good shot at getting a good run as this race goes along. Troxel able to surpass the 41. And the way it runs right now, it's going to be really tight. Oh, that was really tight between Paulus and Troxel. A good run for Daniel Paulus Jr. to the inside of Thomas Troxel there. That is for, I believe, the 10th position, as Crampton is ahead of those guys. Blaine Keys in the middle of all this. Trey Bartow, Matthew Hubert. And Blaine Keys splitting these guys. He does not want to waste any time trying to catch back up to the front. I don't think he's going to win this race, but he can definitely salvage some points here and try to hold on to that point. See ahead of Ladovic Strat. 51 right in the slipstream of Perez, Williams, and Chung. And Braden Perez almost sliding in the Williams there. He had to check up. And these guys, they want to be that front car catching up to the top 2, because the top 2 are right on each other, and if they get racing, whoever's in this position is going to close in. And here we go for the race lead. Drew Webb to the inside of Kirsten Bell for the top position. Here on lap 33 of 50, coming to 17 laps to go in the Culver's 400 at Michigan.
What a battle between these top 2. Kirsten Bell trying to stay in the title fight with a crucial race victory here today, 7th in the point standings, and then Drew Webb, who just took the race lead, wants some sweet, sweet Michigan revenge here today, takes the top spot. And how about the Culver's one car of Logan Williams in that 3rd position, and how about last year's one up into the 4th position? It's not over. If these guys can catch up to the top 2, it's not over. But with the racing that they,
my goodness,
oh man, the racing right now, we might have a caution the way that these guys are getting really, really close.
We have a caution. I did see the lights.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, this thing just got interesting. Somebody sent it down the backstretch. I don't know who it was. Matt Black at the back of the field right here. Take a look. Oh, it might have been Barton. Was it Barcha? Barcha may have actually come down the pit lane a second time. He is a lap down in the 4 machine.
I think I saw the 18.
Might have been Tanner Barton in the 18.
Damage.
Oh, there you go. Oskin. Sam Oskin in the 73. And we've got ourselves a yellow flag here in the Culver's 400 in Michigan. And these two did not want to see that. Drew Webb, Kirsten Bell. Because they were going to battle it out. And what this does, it brings Blaine Keys right back in the mix. That is not something you want. Because you know this guy's good. Granted, too, he has not been the fastest car today. I genuinely think the fastest car today has been that 99 of Drew Webb. So we're going to have to see how well he does on this restart. Logan Williams, that's Logan. Oh, boy. Answered prayer for Logan Williams. Braden Perez, Ladovic, Charette, Bryce Egan here with an opportunity. Sam Medea, Laura Chung, Travis Crampton, and Blaine Keys. Oh boy, folks, it's gonna get wild. This has been such a great race so far, and it's gonna get even better. Thank you. I have to thank once again Matt Tuck for making the I&I on this track about 4 years ago. That's why you still see all the old NOFSRL stuff on here, because I don't want to mess with perfection. I don't want to mess with it. No offense to Hair Gel. He's done a great job with all the graphics on all the other tracks this season, but we had to use this version in Michigan, and I wasn't changing lines. I just had to do it. Had to use this one. All right, well, Drew Webb is leading here in Michigan. I know he's holding his breath with that one. But first, let's see what happened to bring out the first caution of the day here in the Culver's 400 in Michigan. Down the backstretch, Sam and Oz getting caught up in a wreck here. The Michigan International Speedway. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is Tanner Parton and Salmon Oskin in the back of the field here getting into each other, and Parton just squeezes Oskin up into the outside wall. And that's it. But enough to trigger the yellow flag here in Michigan. Neither driver will be taken out. They only have minimal damage to the right sides of their car, essentially. But they will be sent to the back of the field. Not that it mattered anyway, because they were both already there to begin with. I think they were 37th and 38th when this happened. Tough break for these guys, but it's going to bunch the field back up, I should say, and give us a good restart here at Michigan. Take it away.
Well, Palmer went up the racetrack, and Oskin came down, and into the outside wall, both of them go, and tough break for Oskin and Tampon right there, and I think the combination of the sun being out really played a role into that one. Just not a lot of grip as it was here last year, and Palmer stood up, and Oskin always stood up and then came back down. But you know what that means, Alex? We're going to have a 12-lap shootout. And the way that the racing we've seen all week long here at Michigan, you're in store for a wild restart.
Drew Webb looking to get redemption from last year. He's leading this race. I feel like he's got a fast car. Let's see what he does on the restart here in the Culver's 400 at Michigan. We are back here in the Culver's 400 in Michigan. 12 laps to go when we take the green flag. This is a race battle that we've been waiting for quite a while. And we're going to get ourselves a great one here around this 2-mile racetrack in Brooklyn, Michigan. What a race it has already been. Drew Webb looking for revenge. Kirsten Bell looking to rebound from last week. Logan Williams trying to do Logan Williams things. Braden Perez looking to defend his Culver's 400 race victory. Ladovic Charette trying to take the points lead. Bryce Egan going for his first career win in the Wawa Cup Series. Nicholas Samadeo trying to stay in this championship battle. Laura Chung going for her first Wawa Cup Series win. Travis Crampton looking to win with Nathan in the booth, and Blaine Keys trying to hold on to the points lead. And then Matthew Hubert going for his first win. Thomas Troxel, Daniel Paulus Jr., Trey Bartow, Jack Oz, Matt Tuck, Rogel Dorn. I tell you what, all the best drivers are up front here in this race at Michigan. Only one driver a lap down is Trey Bartow. I'm sorry, he's actually not on the lead lap anymore. My apologies to Hair Gel there. But here we go. 12 to go in the Culver's 400 in Michigan. And Kirsten Mill trying to get a run here on Drew Webb. You got Braden Perez, Logan Williams, Ladovich Rett. They're all staying in a line right here. What's Drew, or should I say what Blaine Keys doing here on Travis Crampton? Watch out for that 41. He's got a shot at closing in on these guys as this race goes along with 12 to go.
You mentioned all those names. The top 12, top 13 are some of the best or some of the best up-and-coming drivers that have not won yet or have been very successful.
Here we
Fell
go.
to the inside of Webb, side by side, 11 laps to go, and that was the restart that not only Bell wanted to relax and go after this race win, but so did everyone else behind him. We are in for an instant classic here in the Culver's 400.
We absolutely are. I feel like any of these guys can win it, including Bryce Egan, Braden Perez, Laura Chung, kind of all in the middle of all this. Ladovic's got to be careful not to take herself out here with Logan Williams, as Kirsten Bell has taken the race lead away from Drew Webb here off the restart, but that 99 is going to be right back on the inside. Bryce Egan is going for it back there in the 69 machine, and Drew Webb's going for it, trying to get a quarter panel on the 93. Does he have it? Not quite. And Kirsten Bell remains out front, but the 99 going to have a run going in the turn number 1. And don't count out Ladovich Charette now. This 51, she's in a prime position to get her 4th win of the season here. Those Ground Autosport cars are really, really good on the speedways. Obviously, we saw that happen at Kansas when she got the win there. And then with Matt Tuck at Indianapolis, she wants this points lead going into Daytona. Blaine Key still just outside the top 10 right here. And Jack Haas, who is 14 points behind, has not been able to move up either. But if Jack Haas gets around Blaine Keys, it could definitely get interesting in that regard for second. Braden Perez to the outside of Drew Webb. And here comes Logan Williams as well. And this 99 slipping back just a little bit as Kirsten tries to pull away from this field.
With 9 laps to go.
Oh, boy.
Logan Williams to the inside. This is where Tyler might play into a little bit of a factor. We saw that late in the first green flag one, right before pit stop. But how about this? You know, earlier in the year you mentioned Team of the Year winning the Brant 400 in the Brant car. Well, Appalachian trying to sweep the race sponsor names for the team. And this would be impressive for Logan Williams to get the job done if he can pass 23 and catch up with the 93 from 28th to the front.
And the thing is, they can't remain side by side like this and expect to catch up to Kirsten here. And here we go. It's going to get a little wild for second. Bryce Egan had a shot to the inside of Ladovich Charette. Logan's going to finally clear all them, and Ladovic's going to split those guys. Oh, boy.
And look at Crampton right behind us.
Yeah, and Travis Crampton taking that line as well through the middle. And Ladovic's going to look to try to take second. If there's anyone that can get the Kirsten in this race, it's absolutely that 51 machine. But Logan's going to get the run on the outside. And now Logan's clear for second to try to close in on Kirsten for this race lead. Kirsten's in a good spot. Blaine Keys is going 4 wide with Troxel and Matt Tuck into the corner. I'd watch out for this here. Alfred in the outside wall just a little bit. Blaine's got to be careful not to take himself out as Drew Webb continues to slip back. Got stuck in that inside lane, and I don't know if he's going to get revenge this year, unfortunately, in this one. But Kirsten trying to pull away from the field here at Michigan. Logan Williams is second. Ladovich Charette might try to take that second spot away. And Kirsten's in a great spot right now because these guys continue the battle for that second position, and she's able to pull away just enough where they're not really sniffing enough of a draft on her. Logan Williams still holding on to second place right here as Ladovich tries to take second. Travis Crampton there in fourth. Nicholas Samudio up to the 5th position in the 59 machine, and Blaine's on the way inside. He's going to lose a lot of ground right here. Matt Tuck around Blaine Keys. Thomas Troxel around Blaine Keys. Rogel Dorn's about to get around Blaine Keys there as well. And Ladovich Charette looking to take the points lead going into Daytona. But she also wants the race win going into Daytona as well. Trying to get around Logan Williams. No help on the inside lane. Crampton and Samudio pushing this 95. Samudio now knows he's got a shot at this win. Peeking out to the inside of Crampton for position.
I think if Lovett, Chouette, Crampton, or San Diego can get past Logan Williams, they might have a shot. I think Logan Williams not have a good one, but never mind. Right when I say that, he has a massive one down the fast stretch.
Yeah, inside lane just doesn't have the grip now with these tires worn out, and Ludovic Charette is feeling that pressure, and here we go! Logan Williams has a shot. Bell was a little loose off the entrance, but she's going to hold on to the race lead, but that 95 is right there, and here comes Travis Crampton in the 98 machine looking for second on Logan Williams.
Where did Crampton come from?
And he's been in this top 10 pretty much this entire day, and now he's got a shot at the race win. Kirsten's way wide, and for the race lead, Travis Crampton to the inside, down the backstretch with 3.5 laps to go here in the Culver's 400. Ladovic's in the middle of this, Logan's in the middle of this, Sam Adio's in the middle of all this, Matt Tuck's in the top 10, and Blaine Key's struggling in the 15th position. And for the race lead, Crampton has cleared Kirsten Bell for the top position. But Bell's on this outside. Logan Williams trying to split the middle. Sam Adio's here as well. 3 laps to go here in Michigan for Travis Crampton and NS Racing. Will he be able to hold on to the race lead, though? That is the big question. They're side by side for second. Logan Williams to the inside of Kirsten Bell. You got Matthew Hubert and Bryce Egan up here as well, trying to get close enough in case anything happens. But Crampton is clear out and ahead here, coming to 2 laps to go in the Culver's 400.
What a race this has been.
Oh, he's really wide there.
400.
But he's going to try to get the run up top.
And Michigan, we've seen so many comebacks and goals. And you mentioned it. All these drives up went Bryce Egan, Matthew Hubert, Twatzel, all up went late. But there's one guy that wants this race to stay nice and calm. That's Crampton. Look at Williams side by side with Bell, and that's going to allow that 98 to slowly pull away with 1.5 laps to go.
May I remind you, Nathan, and you're going to hate me for this, what happened here last year to the race leader? Coming to the checkered flag. All right, here we go. Crampton's going to try to do it. The white flag is in the air here in the Culver's 400 for Travis Crampton. Looking for a second career win in the Wawa Cup Series. Kirsten has cleared the Appalachia cars. Will she have enough to close in on this final lap? That is the big question. Sam Adio trying to close in for second on Kirsten Bell. Be in the catbird seat in case what happens last year happens this year. Sam Adio's got a shot on Kirsten Bell for second. And all you got to do is get through this corner. I'm waving my hands right now because I tell you what, I'm a little nervous for him. He made it. He made it. Sam Adio's going for second. Kirsten Bell's not going to have enough time. Nathan, aren't you happy you were here for this one? Travis Crampton is going to get the win in the Culver's 400 here in Michigan. Kirsten Bell, Nicholas Sam Adio, Logan Williams, and Ludovic Charette, the top 5. Bryce Egan, Matt Tuck, Matthew Hubert, Rogaldorn, and Drew Webb. Lane Keys finishes 13th. Your new points leader is Ludovic Charette by, I believe, 5 points going into Daytona. Either 5 or 6. We're going to see that here in a second. Nicholas Samadio is going to be, let's see here, 20 points behind going into Daytona, but my man, aren't you glad you saw that one? Travis Crampton wins the Culver's 400 in Michigan. What a race that was. And like you said, an instant classic, I'd say it was, for your team there at NS Racing.
Well, at the start of the day, I said that I think a non-chaser is going to get the win. I was wrong on it being Brian Webb, but I was right on it being a non-chaser. Crampton gets the job done. And, you know, this is almost like the second hometown race for us. Michigan right above the save in the air. So, a great one for NS Racing and Travis Crampton. Second win, finally, after wrapping that car. But, enough me being biased. How about second place of Bell? Not a win, but still a great second place finish for her. I think that's going to keep her in at least a little bit of a title fight going into Daytona and Darlington. And what a race this was. So many drives that popped up late. Like Matt Tutt, where did he come from? Hubert. Thomas Twatzel. Lochana was good all day long. Buckets out of the top 16 late. So many drives popped up late. So much movement. What a finish here in the Culver's 400.
Absolutely. What a finish. And you had it right, a non-chaser getting the race victory here in the Culver's 400. 12 lead changes, 7 different leaders. This was the Michigan race we thought we were going to have last year that we didn't have. And wow, that it delivered, no doubt about it. And Travis Crampton only led 4 laps in this race to get it done, but he led the most important one to get his second career win here in the Wawa Cup Series. And the standings as they run, we're going to show them on the screen right now. Ludovic Charette now has only 4 points ahead of Blaine Key. So I was wrong. It wasn't 5. It's only 4 points going into Daytona. Nicholas Samedeo 20 points behind. Jack Haas 24 behind. Matt Tuck 28 behind. Thomas Troxel 32 behind. Kirsten Bell 43 behind. This is Daytona we're talking about. Will you have a big one? It takes out Ludovic Charette and Blaine Keys. All heck breaks loose in terms of the points race. And you know what? Ludovic Charette, Blaine Keys, they're going to have to be really good in qualifying. I feel like the race on Friday night, next Friday night, is really going to favor who starts up front, because it's going to be a bit of a logjam in that one. And it's going to be fascinating to see who ends up front in that race to be in position to get the points lead going into the finale race 2 weeks from now. But I tell you what, Nathan, it's going to be tight. You see the points right there. How do you think it's going to play out here with these last few races, these last 2 races of the season at Daytona and Darlington?
Well, all I can say is if you thought today was something, just wait till we get to Daytona next week, because with how tight the points are, this is far from over. If, like you said, if Ludovic Charette and Blaine Keys get caught up with the big one, and not only is that going to open up the door for Samedeo, Haas, Tuck, Troxel, Bell, we could have a $7 fight if things get crazy at Darlington for this championship. It's going to be absolutely wild. Anything can and possibly will happen at Daytona. It could go caution-free, or it could get a little bit wild. So who knows? But a great race here at Michigan. Glad that Crampton won. Obviously, for me being biased, but I'm glad that I was able to be in the booth for this one. Finally got the color close over our head. But what a race this was. Michigan did not disappoint. I think with the sun being out instead of it being cloudy, and with how much more competitive the season has been, all worked out in our favor, and we saw quite possibly one of the best races in season for the 2024 season.
Absolutely. Oh boy, that was some good stuff. That was some serious fun here at Michigan. And wow, what a way to cap off this Michigan week. We've had some fun races here. Hey, Truck Series is going to be here in about a month's time, so you know they're going to have their fun there as well. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. Oskin and Parton getting caught up in that one, but everybody finished the race, and only one driver finished a lap down. And that was Trey Barch, who had an issue on the pit lane. Wow, that was fun. I feel bad for Drew Webb, who restarted that race from the first position and just got stuck on that inside with no grip and lost all the momentum and the track position, essentially. But Travis Crampton just came through like there and took it away from everybody. When he made that move behind Ludovic Charette to split them in turn 2, 3 wide, he knew he had a goal. Let's put it that way. He wasn't going to let anyone else take away that race win the way he was driving out there, and he deserved it. NS Racing, you guys get your second Cup win. I know it's been a bit of a struggle for you guys this season, but obviously you guys have the speed with Crampton. Crampton joining that team, or staying with that team next year, and you bringing in Tanner Parton, who I'm sure is glad to be driving for you guys after everything that he's been through in the Cup Series. So congratulations, Nathan. Congratulations to Travis Crampton on the race victory here at Michigan. All right, you've seen the points, but we'll show them again for you because we like to be nice and organized with that. So here are the points for the Wawa Cup Series after 28 races. Only 2 races remain. Valvoline 400 next Friday night, and then the Meliello Southern 500 on Sunday before Labor Day, September 1st there. Gonna be a good one there for the finale. Gonna be a good one next week. And hey, the Turkey Hill Truck Series starts Thursday night. Lenovo Pro Series starts Tuesday night. Our fall series beginning here, overlapping with the end of these series. Always a great time of year here on the channel. We got all these races going on. IndyCar finales next Saturday. just got a lot of great stuff coming up. So keep it tuned in here on AG the channel over the next couple of weeks. We got some good stuff for you coming up here. Huge thanks to Nathan Stapleton for joining me in the booth here tonight. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching, and a huge congratulations to Travis Crampton on his race victory here at Michigan. Here are the points for the Wawa Cup Series after 28 races, and I will see you guys later.